Evan, welcome back to Ogden. After splitting the series with Oakland, what are your key takeaways from the road trip?
It was a really good series for us. It was a good start to the season. We go in and Oakland's one of the four teams that was in the playoffs last year. They're managed by a guy that I grew up idolizing that played for the Cardinals, Aaron Miles, and he's got a tough group over there, man. We could have came away with 4 games. We ended up going to the knockout round in game one. But splitting a series on the road with a playoff team is something I'm very happy about. My guys are ready to go. We're good defensively. We're good offensively. We play the game the right way. I like our pitching staff. Dennis Gomez has been a big upgrade in terms of taking a lot off of my plate and being the pitching coach, so I can just focus on managing. And it was a great series, man.
Are there any standout performances or moments from the Oakland series that you feel set the tone for what's ahead?
Oh, absolutely. So, Chris Sargent is our main catcher. Sarge obviously had a great year for us last year, but he's the catalyst of our team. If I could appoint a captain, he would be the guy. He's the catalyst in our lineup. I actually made a sign on the road, a guy that's from California named Nick Cardinal, who has pretty much solidified himself at the back end of our bullpen as our closer. He closed out 2 of the 3 wins for us. That was huge. Our bullpens in the back end are big. We had consistent, good starting pitching. Our lineup battles, just all the way around through the roster. I'm very pleased with what I saw.
How are you balancing player development with the push for wins in this part of the season?
So, obviously, look, you get these guys in here and it's about production, right? One of the main things that I said this year is that I'm not looking at what the potential of a player is anymore. I'm looking at what the production of a player is. But however, there are some guys here who, are still are just kind of getting their foot in the door for the first time. And it's exciting to see what they can do. So, development is always a part of what you do. You can always improve. There's development for me. There's development for every coach. There's development for every person in this game. And so, we're never going to have it fully figured out. And we're going to always have an ever-evolving plan to get better, but winning is always the goal.
How does it feel to come full circle as a Raptors field manager after being part of the organization as both a player and a coach?
Yeah, man, I think if anybody truly knows how much that means to me, you're one of those people. You've been there with me the whole time, Kev, and being in this office, sitting in this chair, literally and metaphorically, sitting in the manager's chair is something that I take great pride in. I take great pride in this organization. I care very much about the way that we carry ourselves. I want us to be intense competitors. I want us to set the tone. I want us to have an identity of being hard-nosed and tough. And, Dave Baggett has been an instrumental figure in my baseball career, and I try to do everything I can every day to wear the Raptors name proudly and wear it in the correct way.
Reflecting on your journey from player to manager, what lessons from your playing days do you bring to your managerial role?
That's a good question. As a player, obviously I was a pitcher, so I look at the game through the lens of a pitcher, but that has allowed me to understand offensive approaches and how to set guys up and stuff like that. And I was specifically a closer for most of my career. So, pitching in high leverage moments gives you the ability to have a good heartbeat, not let the moment speed up on you. I feel like managing in an anxious way only leads to, negative outcomes. So leaning back, or leaning into what I learned as a player is keeping my heartbeat where it needs to be, thinking methodically, thinking through things, trying to think ahead, and ultimately putting my guys in the best positions to succeed, because as a player, the best coaches I played for had a knack for putting guys in positions to succeed, and that's what I try to do for my guys.
How did your experience overcoming injuries and surgery shape your coaching philosophy, especially when working with pitchers?
Another great question. So, I was very fortunate. I pitched through high school and most of college without running into anything injury-wise. And, once I started to run into injury things, I found out that it's kind of a metaphorical tightrope where you have to do enough to rehab yourself and kind of, push yourself back to play. But you also have to do, I guess what you want to call workload management. You can't overuse guys in the bullpen. You can't let pitch counts get out of hand. But the one thing that I can say is that it gave me the ability to look at how to use a guy properly and talk to him about how he's trained and what he's done and what he's prepared to do. And it certainly gave me some humility, and it humbled me because, as an athlete, you sometimes think that you're like a bulletproof tiger or something. You don't think that you can get hurt, and so I take it very serious, and I watch my guys closely. I work closely with our athletic trainer Bailey, who's really good at what she does, and we focus highly. We put a high focus on injury prevention. I want my guys to warm up and cool down and do all that stuff right every day, and so I wondered why back in the day I was getting hurt, and it was because it gave me the knowledge that I have now to be able to help my players.
As a local of Ogden and a longtime Raptor, what does it mean to you to lead the team into a new season with tonight's home opener?
So it means a lot, man. We get the defending champions right out of the gate to open at home, and I don't think there's any better test than that. And I look forward to it. The one thing that I've always wanted to do, and I aim to do every single day when I wake up, is I want to show up here. I want to put this Raptors gear on. I want to put that jersey on when game time hits. I want to wear it proudly. I want to represent my hometown and make them proud. I take a great sense of pride in being in the position that I'm in, and when Dave hired me, he asked me, I know Evan Parker, the pitching coach, what can I expect from Evan Parker, the manager? I said, there will not be a single person that will ever wear this jersey that has more pride than me, and that's my goal every day. So to everybody checking out this content, I want to thank Kevin Johnson Media. He's the best in the game, and let's go get him tonight. Love you guys. Go Raptors. Raptors claws up.
Thank you, Evan.